Hi and welcome back to BookTube with Amy. This is my latest weekly wrap up. So I was in a wee bit of a spooky mood. These are some of the books that I had read during October when I was on hiatus, and I totally abandoned my end of year TBR so that I could read them. So we'll find out today whether or not they were worth the hype. First up, I read The Apartment by S.L. Grey. This is about a couple and they unfortunately suffer a break-in, and life after the break-in has been a bit difficult for them. They both sort of have resentments towards each other as to how they handled themselves during the break-in and things that could have been done differently potentially, and they both have safety issues with feeling safe in their own home and concerned that it could happen again. They are fairly skint, so they can't afford a big lavish holiday to go away and try and work on their relationship and just have a bit of fun again. So they enter themselves onto a house swapping website and they are looking for a couple in Paris who want to swap for a couple of weeks with their home in Cape Town so that they can go and they can experience Paris together. Now, the dynamic in this relationship between the husband and wife is really interesting. There's a lot of miscommunication and lack of communication in this, which usually I find really frustrating in books, but I actually enjoyed it in this one. I felt like it was used really well to the story's advantage to make it really unsettling and really quite creepy at parts. They obviously both have a lot of feelings towards each other in the aftermath of the break-in, and there is some pretty dark stuff that has happened in the husband's life prior to his current marriage that is clearly lurking over their marriage, and it's really interesting to find all that out, and it's dual perspective, so we get a chapter for her perspective and a chapter from his perspective. And we sort of find out all their thoughts, feelings, opinions, and then it flips and we find out the other person's. And I think that it's really interesting in this book because I never really took a side. Like, I think that some books, if they're using dual perspective in a situation like this, like, you're almost urged to pick a side, and I never really picked a side. I think I could understand things from both of their perspectives given both of their experiences, if that makes sense. So I really enjoyed that. I didn't feel like the book was pitting one against the other. You were sort of feel like eekies, or at least I was. So it is obviously a spooky, creepy book. So when they get to this apartment that they have swapped, no all is as it seems, and it's a bit shabby and a bit rough around the edges. And then on top of that, sort of they discover some weird creepy things inside the apartment, and they're like, right, okay. And then weirder, creepier things start happening to them and it's not exactly the idyllic escape that they were hoping was going to save their marriage. So there's a couple of things that I really enjoyed about this book and a few things that I absolutely hated. So I've already said I've really enjoyed the writing style. I thought that was fantastic. Also really liked the way that the tension built in this book. Things were happening for the get-go, but it wasn't at 100, so there was still tension building there, which is something that I really need in a horror. Like, I need it to be gripping me, I need there to be plot happening, but also need like the tension to be building so that I know we're still going to get somewhere that's going to like blow my wee head. Blow my wee mind. Let's not be saying filthy things like that again on the internet. Also really enjoyed the characters. I thought that they were developed brilliantly. I felt like we had a really good sense of character for the husband and the wife, and their thoughts and feelings on certain situations and how they would handle situations, and also found their relationship really interesting with this built up resentment that they had for one another. So I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I think that just made the book a bit creepier because you could tell when all the creepiness started, like how on their own they both felt because of all the relationship issues that they had been having. So I just thought that added to this total sense of dread and loneliness, which just enhanced my reading experience. I thoroughly enjoyed that. For me though, the book just wasn't the total package. I think that when the creepy stuff started happening, like the tension was building at a good pace, but then it sort of turns into a like is this a mental health thing? Is this ghosties? And I just don't find that interesting. And I know I've spoken about it on the channel before, but I really hate when authors just use mental health as a plot device, and I don't like when things are ambiguous like that. Like, I've paid you to tell me a story, so tell me it. Like, I could just think for free. Like, I didn't want to have to. And I just didn't like that things were played so heavily on the mental health side of things. I didn't enjoy it, and I feel like even the ending of the book and everything is left quite ambiguous as to whether like it all just was mental health issues or whether like there was actual ghosts and stuff cutting about. So I didn't enjoy that. It's not my favourite thing in the world. I think that we need more mental health rep in books, but it needs to be positive mental health rep, and it can't just be, oh, is she mental, or like, is an actual shit happening. I think that was all interesting for about 5 minutes when the first couple of books done it, and I feel like we need to move on now. Like, it's mental health issues aren't just a plot device. I made it, frankly. So I rated it a 2-star. I wouldn't really recommend it unless you are frankly alright with ambiguity and shit mental health rep. Then I read Anyas Ghost by Vera Broskell, and this is a graphic novel. I'll just show you some pictures. It is so cute. So I've wanted to read this one for a wee while. We have our main character Anya, and she is a Russian immigrant who is currently living in America, and she has really struggled to try and fit in and, you know, be accepted by the Americans and no permanently picked on for being different. On top of that, she also has struggles with her mum. Her mum is a bit of a feeder and makes all of this really fatty, creamy, traditional Russian food that Anya is trying to avoid because she is really self-conscious about her weight, and so she is trying to eat healthy and also eat minimal as possible. And then she accidentally falls down a well, and when she has fallen down this well, at the bottom of the well she meets a ghost, and the ghost ends up making its way out of the well with her, and the ghost tries to help her better her life a wee bit. They become pals, and then it's basically just about that. So again, this book was a bit hit and miss for me. I really enjoyed Anya's character, and I think that she was written really, really well. I really connected with her instantly. I could see and feel her struggles, and I really liked the way that they dealt with the body image in this graphic novel, because I feel like the thing is in a lot of books that deal with body issues, in the end, the character, something has happened and the character has then realised that everything is fine and in fact they love their body. And great if that happens for some people, good for you, I want you to love your body, but that's not how it happens for everybody. And so the thing that I liked about this book is that after everything that happens at the end of the book, Anya is so much more confident in herself and she's more confident in her friendships. However, she isn't 100% confident in her body, but she's aiming to get there. And I feel like that's such an important message, because I think that sometimes when people try to do a wee bit body positivity and, you know everybody needs to be your stick thin model, great, but then at the end the character just has a big epiphany and it's like, oh, I am the insecure about my body anymore and everything's grand, like love my curves. And I just don't feel like that happens for everybody. And so I really liked it at the end of this one, although she felt more confident in herself as a person, like about her personality, she still had her body struggles but was willing to put the effort in to get to a place where she fully loved herself. So I felt like that was actually handled really well. The thing that let this book down for me is I feel like they didn't really explore the character of the ghost as much as they could have. I feel like their character development was a wee bit lacking for me. And if you've read this, then like, you know, obviously the ghost plays a really big part in it and stuff at near the end of the book, and there's some like jaw-drop moments, and I just feel like that could have been explored so much more, and I didn't feel like it was enough for me, so it wasn't really giving me all the creepy vibes that I was hoping for from it. That being said, it was a lovely wee graphic novel, and although I felt like the ghost character let us down, I feel like Anya is just an absolutely cracking character. I think that, you know, for a younger audience who are maybe picking this up, I think that Anya would really appeal to them. I think that she is badass. She, through the book, starts really knowing who she is and what she will accept and what she won't accept in terms of how people treat her, and also how she treats herself, which I just think is absolutely brilliant. So I rated this one a 3-star. That's it from me this week, so hopefully you are enjoying everything that you are reading at the moment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!